Can you believe this weather we're having? It's a beautiful day. No, it's a beautiful day, and it's Monday. It's Monday. It's a beautiful day, and it's Monday. And I just got home from work. I had to go to work, and yeah. But last weekend, well, yesterday was Sunday, and it was cold. I had a sweatshirt on. It was cold. It felt like fall. It was cold, and then Saturday was kind of cruddy. Last weekend it rained. Memorial Day weekend, it rained the whole weekend. The only time it stopped raining was like Monday afternoon at like 5 o'clock because everybody's leaving, right, to go home from vacation. The sun comes out, so it rains all weekend. It's cold all weekend. The sun comes out today. What are you gonna do? But anyway, that's the blues right there, baby. That's the blues. And speaking of which, it's June, so let's go get us some June blues. Get us some blue June blues. Blue June. So when I'm talking blues, you might think I mean bluefish. And yeah, there might be a bluefish in this video, but I'm talking blues. I'm talking blues. For example, the fact that we are going out in this dinghy. This is the second time we tried to take this dinghy out. And I can tell you the reason we're taking the dinghy out and not the boat out is because the boat has a little problem with it. So it's in the shop. So all we have is a dinghy. And we took it out and there were so many waves coming in, the back filled up. So I had to actually pull it up on the land and drain it to get the water out of it before it sank. But it wouldn't be the first time, because the first time we tried to put it in, I forgot the plug even needed to go in there and didn't put the plug in. And as I'm backing the trailer down, the boat started filling up with water. So anyway, we just decided we were going to go out in the ICW this last Saturday, and it was low tide, so that was against me. Low tide in the ICW, not my favorite thing. I'm sure some spots are really good, but not where we were. We were just off of Sheep's Island. But I did manage to get some fiddler crabs and a couple pieces of shrimp, and I thought I could just throw it out there and maybe catch a nice big black drum. You just never know. And I was able to catch some fish out there, but unfortunately they were all pinfish. So blues, weep womp, how's it go? I caught a pinfish. So I decided to try out my new fly reel, and this is a really nice 9-weight fly reel, 9-foot reel rod. I'm not quite sure. I'm all new to this fly fishing thing, but I did get some sinking leader, and you just saw that fly right there. It's supposed to resemble a sand flea. I thought this would be really good to take down to the surf once the wind calms down. Of course, the wind hasn't calmed down in weeks, right? Anyway, I've got it measured out, and I'm just like, I can get some good practice out here. I have practiced in the yard plenty of times, and I've kind of got the double haul thing down pretty good. I can probably shoot about 50, 60 feet, I guess, of line, which is good, right about where I was if there was some fish there. But I did it a couple times, and it's actually rather tiring. And also because of the wind and my inexperience, I ended just tangling the whole thing up. So there's more blues. Look at this knot. So I had to sit there for like a half an hour and try to untangle this sinking line that was going around the regular line. But on the good news, we went to the new Thai and Vine. Now, if you knew Noodles and Ice Cream, which was just a takeout Thai place, which was on the the east end of the island, they decided to open up a restaurant, Thai and Vine, and it is located at where Beana's used to be, where the stoplight is, basically in the middle of town there, between Publix and Food Line. There's a stoplight. If you just go down there, it'll be on the left towards the beach and then turn left. The old Beana's, and so it's now the Thai and Vine. And at the time we went, they did not have Vine yet, but they do have their liquor's license now, so you could go there. And I have been back and actually got a sake to go along with my pad Thai. Now, Kim gets the pho, and she really likes the pho soup, and I love good pad Thai. Now, let me tell you something. I love good pad Thai. Now, when I get Japanese food around the island, it's okay. But being from New York, I've had really good sushi, so it's okay. And when I get Chinese food down here, I've been to Chinatown, so the Chinese food is okay. But this pad Thai is outstanding. I cannot believe we have such a great Thai restaurant right here on the island. I recommend it, Thai and Vine. If you like pad Thai, it's really good. So next day, I need to get some bait, and I don't have time to run up to the east side of the island, so I just run into the beach pantry. I'm going to get some frozen shrimp, and I also noticed they had some fish bites, and they were shrimp flavored, and they were like this neon bright yellow, banana yellow. I don't know what color it is, but I thought I'm going to get this to go along with my frozen shrimp, because the fish might not like the frozen shrimp, but how can they turn down banana flavored fish bites? So I went to the back, opened up the cooler, got myself out a thing of frozen shrimp. You know, it's better than no shrimp, right? not ideal, but I'm gonna make it work. I've got to make it work. So I'm gonna pay for it. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna hit the beach, and we're gonna see what we can find. The tide is coming up now. This is later on in the afternoon, and this is tell you about the blues. This is the first time I've been out on the beach in like 3 weeks because first of all, it rained and was cloudy even this weekend. Last weekend and Memorial Day weekend, the weekend before that, it rained the whole time. I felt sorry for people who came down that weekend. It just rained all Memorial Day. As people were leaving at like 5 o'clock at night, the sun came out. Anyway, I cut up these yellow banana fish bites. I put a piece of that on the hook. I still had a fiddler crab left over, so I threw him on. I've never had luck with fiddler crabs in the surf, but I did put on a piece of shrimp, and I cast it out. And so while that was waiting out there, I reached into my bag of tricks. I got out a nice frozen finger mullet I had left over from, actually caught these last fall, and I just kept them frozen until this very time. And I'm going to cast one of those out there. So I give this one a good old heave. Get that. Now the tide's coming up, right? So that's just going to sit there, soak, and just get deeper and deeper and deeper as the water comes up. But meanwhile, on the shrimp and the fiddler crab and the banana flavored, fish bites, which I thought were going to be successful, I had nothing. Nothing was going on. However, the finger mullet, I guess, was very attractive to a few bluefish. So if nothing else, I was able to catch this bluefish right here. Now, this is not going to win me any citations. This is actually probably the smallest of the ones I catch in this video. I mean, was it a foot? Maybe it was a foot, but it was barely. If it was not worth even holding on to, which I seem to have some trouble with. So I sent him back to the ocean, hoping to get a bigger one. And so I cast out that finger mullet again, since I'm not getting any bites on the other rod. And I actually was able to capture another bluefish. This one a little bit bigger, but you know what? I was just not in the mood. I would love some pompano. I would like a nice whiting. I just was like, I don't really want a bluefish, especially not these little ones. So I'm just gonna let him go too. Back to the water with you, bluefish, and we're just gonna try again. And that was about it for that afternoon. The weather was, like I said, it was cloudy. It was overcast. Not the nicest day I've ever spent at the beach, but at least I got out fishing. At least it wasn't raining again. I can't believe. I mean, having some serious blues in the rain. The rain causes the blues, right? So I picked up the bucket, walked out of there, and decided to come back the next day, which was Sunday. Now, Sunday, I went to 7th Street. It turned out to be colder than the day before. Like, there were some people out there still trying to pretend it was warm, but I had on a sweatshirt. I had a sweatshirt, long pants, I've got shoes on, I don't even have my bathing suit on. I'm like totally dressed. It is the afternoon. The sun is, getting ready to set. I guess it's like 4 o'clock or something. The surf was coming up. Again, rising tide, same thing, same bait, same results. However, this time I was able to catch at least a couple of little whiting, but they were super small. I ran into a little pocket of like these little 8-inch whiting on the shrimp and the fish bites. So at least it was working, but not anything that, nothing to write home about, not a citation, and not going to eat dinner. So after that, I waited, watched the waves, and I waited, and I watched the rods, and I waited. And I was like, this is a really blues bummer afternoon, and there's just nothing going on. I just could not make, even on the blue rod, on the other rod, nothing was going on. And then all of a sudden, as I was getting ready to leave, the rod bent. And I was like, yes, I finally got a fish. Maybe this is worth keeping. I thought maybe at first it was a little shark because the way he hit it and he started pulling it. But then he was just fighting it, a lot of head shakes. And I'm like, well, I probably got a blue on here. But if I do, it's halfway decent because he's giving me some drag. And I just started reeling him in. Of course, the sand spike came out. I had to throw that up on the beach there so it wouldn't wash away as the next wave came in. I guess, again, the tide was coming in. And I'm just like, I'm going to bring this bad boy in, and I hope I got me some fish tacos. I don't know if I want to eat bluefish as fish tacos, to be honest with you. But I was happy to have a nice big fish. So I finally landed him. I grabbed I'm stepping on it. Where's my sand spike? Oh, here it is. Wake up. I'm more interested in the fish. Get the sand spike in there so I can just put the rod up there and take a look at this blue and see if he's good. Now, this bluefish, I may or may not have wanted to keep, but he did such a good job of getting this hook stuck down in his mouth. And by the way, he was a decent bluefish. He was definitely probably in the 14, maybe 15-inch range. I'd like to pretend he was anyway. So I was trying to get the hook out, and I'm like, he wouldn't open his jaw. He wouldn't let go. He was bleeding from the side of the mouth. And I was like, you know what? I feel so bad for you that you've had so much trouble with me getting this hook out that I'm going to do a really nice thing and invite you home for dinner. So, which I did. And Kim made quick work work out of it, putting it on some, I don't know, rice pilaf or something like that, and some vegetables on the side. And we had a really good fish dinner that night. Eat bluefish when you catch them, and they're good. So get out there, go fish.